Hey everyone, welcome back to Bird Talk with Terrence Mathis. I'm William Brandon. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the simplest sports fantasy game on the market, and you can pick from multiple sports platforms, NBA, MLB, and get this, sign up using the code ASU and Prize Picks will 100% match your initial offer up to $100. Download the app for free at the Google Play Store or the App Store. Well, it looks like the Falcons aren't done making pre-draft roster moves. The Falcons traded a fifth-round pick in this month's draft to the Detroit Lions for Jeff Okudah. Okudah, pick in the 2000 draft. How are you feeling about these constant moves we're still making on defense?
Well, that goes to tell you that those guys on defense with Nielsen and Gray and the rest of those guys are really, really understanding that to beat people with a young offensive side of them is with the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing in some veteran guys. Now, Okudah, I don't know how healthy he is right now. I think in the last 4 years, he's played less than 25 games or so.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't shown that first round ability yet, but at the same time, a change of scenery would help a lot of people. And I hope he's healthy. I hope he can get on the field. That gives us more depth at the corner position because and here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you make that move when you already have a guy in Casey Hayward? Now, it goes to tell me that he may not be healthy yet. He may not be on the mend yet. He may not be at that 80, 85, 90% range where they want to see him right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably have some concerns there. So, and they got another guy that has some talent, has some range, that played a lot of, well, like I said, he hasn't played a lot of football, but a change of scenery may help. Listen to the Detroit people. It was like, the Falcons got a deal. You get a what was it, fourth overall pick or something?
Third
overall pick in the draft, and you trade him before his contract is up for a fifth rounder. And here's the thing, here's the genius of it all. You don't that option year, that fifth year option, the Falcons they don't have to sign that at the end of next month or during sometime next month, and you get him. And hopefully he pans out, and then you can sign him later, at the end of the season or during the season or whenever you want to do it. So it's a win. I don't say it's a win for the Falcons because now you got a veteran guy who coming out of college was the best cornerback in that draft class, and you pretty much got him for free.
Yes.
You pretty much got him for free. And I think being around the caliber of talent that Nielsen is putting together, I think he can thrive. I really do think he can thrive.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a steal. It's a fifth round pick. He's still on this rookie deal. As you said, you don't have to pay him this large lump sum. So it's unlike finally the Falcons are that team that's giving away a late round pick and getting possibly a quality guy. Like I said, he was a third round pick. One was Burrow, two was Chase Young, and then this guy.
Yeah.
So he was valued high. So hopefully, he'll be able to pan out. This offseason so far, we've signed J.C. Bates, Calais Campbell, David Onyemata, re-signed Caleb McGrary, just traded for Jeff Okudah, traded for Jonnu Smith, signed linebacker Caden Hillis, added Taylor Heineke, signed Scotty Miller, Mike Hughes, the other cornerback, signed Mac Hollins, re-signed Lorenzo Carter, and activated Eddie Coleman. And we still got the 8th pick. And we were talking before how these other draft analysis was coming out. They had a cornerback at 8. I think that's dead now for sure with going after Okudah.
Yeah,
they might be getting that guy that you've been talking about.
Yeah, they might. Here's the thing. I have not seen this much movement and excitement from this organization probably since Jonathan Abraham and that that year when they brought in him. And boy, I haven't seen anything like this in a long, long time. And it's refreshing to see because 2 years I talked about, well, I said after the season, I said, if you're not trying to win now, get out the game.
Right.
And I think the Falcons are trying to win now. What they've done so far is showing me that we're on the verge of building a roster that 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 is. Let me say this. This is the best way to say it. Today,
Mm-hmm.
today, this roster is the best roster in the NFC South. Today. Now we still have the draft whatsoever, and we still have those June cuts and whatsoever. But today, the Falcons have done the best in the offseason than any team in the South. Now you can talk about Carolina moving up to number one whatsoever. That's a big jump, but still, that's still an unknown. You
Right.
know, you draft a rookie quarterback and you hope that he pans out and have a decent rookie year. We
Mm-hmm.
have a first year quarterback that had some experience, not only in the preseason, but in regular season play, that now we kind of know what we're getting at that position. And we know what Algier can do. We know what Drake London can do. Pitt's healthy. You got Smith coming over playing the tight end. Offensive line is set. Man, you know,
And let me
we
ask you,
signed Hodge back. We signed Hodge back, right?
Daryl Hodge, the Falcons just
We
re-signed
signed
him.
him back. So, we got Scotty Miller. We got all these guys, man. And still that number 8 pick, as you alluded to, Nolan Smith is still sitting there. He's still the guy. But now, here's something that's interesting. That since we talked last about Nolan Smith,
Mm-hmm.
I said if we miss on Nolan Smith, you got another guy right here in Georgia, right up the street from you, and Keon White from Georgia Tech.
Right.
Phenomenal career at Georgia Tech. Was a beast. There's another guy that comes off the edge that can make a difference with speed and size and tenacity. So it'd be nice to get one of the two.
No, it definitely would be. One thing I wanted to ask you, because I thought we had put this to bed about the quarterback, but since our last taping, there's been reports that the Falcons are going to work out Anthony Richardson, and then today, reports from Ian Rappaport that the Falcons plan to work out Will Levis from Kentucky tomorrow. Why are they still working out these quarterbacks if they're set in stone, or are they just still giving smoke and mirrors? I mean, what's going on with this?
Because that's what everybody's doing in the top 10.
Okay.
That's what everybody's doing in the top 10.
So
Is
we have
working
nothing
out.
to worry about.
They're
It's just
working. Yeah,
season.
you just
Okay.
you they just working out the top picks. The
Okay.
top picks that's gonna fall in the top 10. You got to do your due diligence and do that because you don't want to be sitting there on your hands and going, well, we're done. We're not doing anything. You don't want to show your hand and say, well, we're not thinking about a quarterback because
Yeah.
understand this: if one of them falls to number 8, there's somebody at 9, 10, 11, 12 that might say, hey, we want to move up. And here's an asset. And here's our first round pick for your 8th pick. So they got to do their due diligence. So they got to show the league, they got to show everybody else in the league that, hey, we might draft a quarterback. So if he falls at number 8, we might get an asset, a championship caliber guy,
Mhm.
and a first round pick, and maybe a first and a second. You never know. So they're being smart by doing that.
There's been rumors that Cardinals have been receiving offers for their pick. Um, I think that because they already got Kyler Murray, so I don't think they want a
Yeah.
quarterback, and maybe they're not wanting to get Will Anderson that high. You want Nolan. I like Nolan as well, but I also like Will Anderson. You
Yeah.
think the Falcons might be one of those teams that's considering moving up that high to 3?
I wouldn't do it because here's the thing. As we talk about Will Anderson, and we just talked about Keon White, we talked about Nolan Smith. That's 3 guys that are different makers
Mm-hmm.
when they're on the floor. One of the 3 is gonna fall at number 8, and you're gonna have, you won't go wrong with any one of them. So I think you just sit there and and sit patiently, and something good may fall into your lap where one of these quarterbacks may be sitting there for you, where you can get a first and a second round pick, well, move down in the first round and get an extra second round pick.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to your draft in a couple of weeks because I'm excited to see, what you got in store, what you think the Falcons should do. So again, the Falcons had a corner listed as their eighth pick. Well, them selecting Jeff Okudah, I think that kind of solidifies that, and that gives the Falcons the opportunity to pick something else with that pick. And
Yeah.
like you said, they can probably get some value with 8 instead of moving down. Is what you feel like?
Right. I feel that way. I think they can get, and like I said earlier, unless a quarterback falls at 8, uh, and someone wants a quarterback and they want to move up for it, I think you take them phone calls, because now what you're going to do, you may get an asset like we talked about just a minute ago. You may get an asset, a later first round pick. You may get a first round pick in 2024, so you might have two first round picks. So it's an advantage sitting there at number 8. Now, if, like we said, Will Anderson and Nolan Smith or Keon White falls there, I think you got to take them. What else? Um,
I was going to say,
I
with all these recent changes that the Falcons have been making, like you said, they should be top of the NFC South.
right.
But we still got to worry about those Tampa Bay Buccaneers who did win the division last year. They are going to be without Tom Brady. How do you think they're going to play against these Falcons this year? They're going to be a formidable opponent, or there's someone that we can kind of forget about and think it's going
Well, there's something going on in Tampa Bay because there's guys wanting out. There's guys leaving in free agency. I just seen their star middle backer ask for a trade
to be?
whatsoever. Um, Something's happening in Tampa, and it's not good. It's really, really not good. I thought they had an older roster, especially on offense,
Mm-hmm.
with their skilled people that stayed banged up. They let Fournette go. They let him go. So, they're probably gonna be looking for a running back in the draft. And I truly think, I don't know what, here's the thing. I don't know what Todd Bowles and those guys are doing. I don't know what they're trying to do because their identity is gone.
Right.
There's no identity as far as coaching staff, as far as players whatsoever. So he, I believe, is going to be a down year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm pretty much saying, hey, okay, we got them under control. The Saints with Carr, I think they're going to be they're going to be that team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in Carolina, uh, I think they're just trying to build up. They had a chance to be very special last year, and I think if they do draft a quarterback, they understand this is a 2-3 year process
Right.
of, of 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 winning and going into the playoffs and deep into the playoffs. So I think right now the way the Falcons are designing their roster and those guys that are coming back next year, uh, and on the defense, that new defensive staff and a new philosophy, I think this is the team to beat in the NFC South. I truly do.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I cannot wait for this draft. I mean, all these picks and signings they've been doing,
Right.
it's got me excited for the season. And then this will probably be one of the final pieces to what we can expect to see going into camp. And like I said, we'll get to your draft picks in a couple
Right.
of weeks. What you got for us in the show today?
Um, I don't really like talking politics or stuff like that, and this is not a political thing right here. I'm not trying to be political whatsoever. I don't have an agenda whatsoever. It's funny. I was playing. I have this golf game, WGT golf,
Mm-hmm.
and I play golf, and you play against people around the world pretty much.
Yeah.
So I was playing against this guy from Canada, and he inboxed me and said, "Hey, this is such and such for Canada. What's going on with Trump?
Mm-hmm.
What's the new on Trump?" And I didn't answer
Mm-hmm.
because I don't get into that stuff with people. But I I've had a chance to sit back and just reflect and look and see what's going on in this country, from gun control to birth control to former presidents getting indicted to to Senate people getting ousted for their views on gun control. And I'm watching these things, and I'm watching all these mass shootings across the country, and I'm going that the only thing that I say, and I get, it hurts so bad. I had a friend of mine, 43 years, passed away uh, during spring break. Um, he's went to save some kids in the ocean, and he
Oh
saved two
yeah.
of them, and he drowned and passed away. And we had the candlelight vigil on yesterday, and it was sad. That family was one of the first families I met. So I'm saying there's destruction and death all around us, but the only constant and the only saving grace is your relationship with God. It's your relationship with God, because we all look for answers from the government, from presidents, from CEOs, from whoever it may be. But until you search, until you go to God for the answers, nothing, no answers are going to flow from you, because He says, seek me first.
Right.
Seek me first. With all that you do, seek me first. Instead of us, going off and fighting each other on social media and all these things, and trying to bully our opinion. Is that coming from God?
Right.
Because if you seek Him first, He'll give you all the answers. He'll fill you up, and then outflowing you is just rivers of water. It just flows out of you, and it's just pure, and it's natural, and it grows wherever it goes, because it comes from God. And whenever you speak and wherever you go, wherever you touch, if you filled up with His glory and His presence, you will see things happen and see things grow, and see the beauty of things. So plug into the power source of God before you do anything else. That's all I have to say.
Right on. Thank you as
Yeah,
always,
man.
T. Hope everyone has a great day. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel Atlanta Sports Unlimited. Everyone have a great day. Thank you.